Hey everyone, it's Albert Flynn DeSilver here, author of the memoir Beamish Boy and the most recent Writing as a Path to Awakening from Sounds True Publishing. Thank you so much for coming to the memoir page, and I'm hoping that you will join me July 20th and 21st for an online memoir writing weekend intensive. This is going to be completely awesome. 2 hours, both days, 4 hours of content on memoir writing, memoir, and mindfulness. And the mindfulness piece is just about prepping ourselves for really the intensity and the courage and the presence that is required for writing a memoir, for telling our stories. So what is a memoir really? And I think a memoir is really the written act of telling the truth. And that takes a huge amount of courage. Truth is not very popular in our culture right now, but we want to know your truth. What is your truth? And memoir writing is about getting that truth out onto the page, looking deep within yourself, reflecting on your life history, reflecting on the stories in your life that have shaped you, that have changed you, that have helped you evolve as a human being to that next level of evolution. This is what memoir is all about, and this is why we love to read memoirs. We read these stories of people overcoming obstacles, overcoming challenges. So what are your challenges? What are the obstacles that you faced in your life that you've transcended? Maybe it was an illness. Maybe it was a difficult, abusive childhood. Maybe it was addiction. What is that story for you? Because the world needs your story. The world needs your truth now more than ever. And that's what this workshop is all about. Here's what we're going to cover. So we're going to start with some mindfulness practices to help us get in that mode of courage. How do we go deep inside? Because the best writing, as you know, comes from the emotional core, the interior. It doesn't come from our heads. It comes from the heart. And so we have to cultivate a connection to that heart. And that's where the mindfulness piece comes in. So we're going to do a little bit of that. We're going to learn some innovative writing techniques. I'm going to offer you some really exciting prompts, some cool exercises, all revolving around memoir that will help you get into these memories, particularly the important memories that will drive your story forward. We're going to look at the top qualities of memoir. What makes a great memoir a great memoir? We will look at structure. This is the number one challenge in writing memoir that I've noticed in my students over the years. Structure. How do we deal with structure? How am I going to make this a story that somebody wants to read? And finally, we're going to look at resources, some great examples, next steps, and we're going to look at the Q&A and see what questions are on your mind. And so I'm so excited for this workshop. This is going to be a really amazing opportunity for you to tell your story, to tell your truth. And it doesn't matter if you're just telling this for yourself, if you want to start journaling into your history, your life story, just for you. I think that's where it starts, this conversation with ourselves. Some of you might have grand ideas to publish it, to share your story with the world. And that's completely amazing too. I mean, I wrote Beamish Boy back in 2012. Well, I wrote it back in starting 2009. Probably took me about 3 or 4 years to write. But that book for me was it was a journey of discovery. I just knew I had this story inside me and it was eating me kind of alive. Really, and I needed to tell it. I couldn't tell it through poetry. I couldn't really tell it at the time through fiction. I love memoir. I love reading memoir. I love Liz Gilbert and Cheryl Strayed, and I've gotten to share the stage with both of these incredible memoir writers. So some of you know me from that history, but my real history goes way back to abuse and addiction, and talk about obstacles, talk about overcoming obstacles. I mean, I was a mess for years, addicted to alcohol, waking up handcuffed to a hospital bed at one point with no idea how I got there, under arrest. And somehow I made my way, I survived. I made my way through. Ended up graduating college and getting connected with a community of writers and writing my way into healing. Writing is healing. And this is what this workshop is all about. It's about you looking into yourself to write that story of truth as you see it, as you experience. And so I hope that you will join me July 20th and 21st. You can register on the not very fancy Zoom page. If you have questions, feel free to email me. This is going to be an extraordinary weekend for you to really go deep within your own story and to start figuring out ways to share it with the world, to take your writing to that next level. And I'm so happy to offer this to you, to support you in this journey. It means a lot to me. And so please go ahead and register today. I only have 90 or 100 spots. That's as many as it's just the capacity of my plan with Zoom. And we had over 250 people register for my last class. So register today, secure your spot. And we have a lot less than that now because a whole bunch of people have been registering. But I encourage you, if you want to write memoir, if you want to explore your story, this is a great opportunity to do so. And I would be honored and delighted to serve and to help you on that journey. Again, until next time, live well, love well, and write well. Thanks so much for registering for this event, and I look forward to seeing you in July. Take care.